Welcome to Death and Aliens, an in-depth look at horror and sci-fi TV from two friends who vaguely know what they're doing. I'm MK,
And I'm Courtney.
and it's been, honestly, I don't have words. While recording the last episode, my computer overheated and died, and we weren't even sure it was going to recover. It did, thankfully. But I now no longer have the energy for anything.
It's okay. It happens. This is our last episode before Christmas, which is exciting.
Well, we might have a little Merry Christmas thing.
This is the Wednesday before Christmas that this comes out.
Oh, before Christmas. Sorry, I'm thinking of in the year of 2021. We're
right. No. This is probably not the last one in the year of 2021, just the last one before Christmas Day.
But we are not going to finish. We're not going to start season 2 of Dead Like Me in 2021. We are going to take a little bit of break. We might have like a short, like 20-minute Merry Christmas, we love you guys episode the Sunday after Christmas. And then we will come back in the new year with our season 1 recap and the start of season 2. But we have not taken a break from this podcast for a year and a half. And I'm tired.
And I haven't taken a break in my whole life, I don't think. So it's time. I'm going home for the holidays and I am not doing anything that is considered a responsibility. I will only be eating and talking to people I love and doing nothing to take care of myself. I will be just alive somewhere that I don't have to do anything.
I will not be taking that much of a break, but like I will still be taking a break. Yeah.
Well, I am working a solid 80 plus hours every week this month. I clocked out at 83 hours this last night. Last night that happened. So I'm tired, and but I am super excited for Christmas. This is our Christmas episode. It have been. Oh my gosh, no. I can't put it on my head. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I have to take my headphones off. Okay. We got these at work last night to wear at the bar. They're super cute. We've been doing lots of holiday parties. And it says Merry Christmas.
Oh. I don't have anything Christmas.
I'm very excited about Christmas.
I did go to the Lindsey Sterling Christmas concert last night, and by go to, I mean worked it. She is amazing.
She is such a doll. I love her so much.
Oh, bad. So, Luna Latte, her chihuahua, which if you follow her on social media, you've seen videos of her little pup. Luna Latte needed to go to the bathroom really bad, but there was 70-mile-per-hour winds, and she's a chihuahua.
She would have blown away.
Mm-hmm. And so she walked outside, and she only made it 6 inches, and then she said, nope.
Poor thing.
She came back in, and I was like patting her, and I was like, it's gonna be okay. And like the person who works for Lindsey, who like handles her dog during the shows and everything, was like, I kind of hope that she just gets frustrated enough and just goes on the floor so that I can clean it up instead of like panicking and freaking out that she can't go to the bathroom. But she didn't. She would not go inside.
That's how Sadie is too. She'll just like, it's stormy outside, but she doesn't want to go outside if it's storming, but she'll just pace and walk in circles. And I'm like, could you just pick one or the other? Like, oh my gosh. So I feel you. I had my first, go ahead.
I was playing with her dog, but then also her promoter has a dog that has, he's this big, beautiful black dog. I'm not sure exactly what he is, but he has like dingo ears. He's a search and rescue dog.
Oh,
And his name is
cute.
Robert Frost.
It's precious.
So I was playing frisbee with Robert Frost and giving Luna Latte some pet love. And that was the only exciting part of my day.
I love it. Well, I had an exciting part of my day, sort of. When I got to work yesterday, we had this group. I knocked my first tray of drinks over
Oh,
onto myself. So thankfully there was only one left on the tray when I knocked it over because I was like leaning around people with the tray, and I knocked Prosecco all down the front of my body. And
what a
so,
waste of
and this wasn't
Prosecco.
like, it was like noon. So I smelled like Prosecco for like 12 hours. And I was just like, I don't know. I don't know, man. It's just, it went straight into my cell phone because I had my cell phone in my like pouch pocket. But my cell phone works. It's fine. It was
Good.
an experience. I was just like, thankfully I didn't get it all over anybody else, just me.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'll be back. Okay. I'll go get you another one. Because we have like the bottles, like they give like little bottles and you like open them and then you pour them.
Yeah.
And so we have to do it. They were like, usually when we're busy, we just like pour it at the bar and then take it to them. But they apparently we have to take them and pour them at the table now, regardless of how busy we are and what we have. And I'm like, no one really cares that much, but okay, we are an Irish pub. That's fine. We are not a 5-star fine dining restaurant, but it's cool. I did tell a lady yesterday because she was like, "Oh, I'll pour it." I was like, "No, we have to do this. I'm sorry," because we have like a carafe of wine. I poured her cup, and she was
Yeah.
like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, we have to like, it's like part of our rules. We have to pour it." And she was like, "That's crazy." It's like, maybe, but it's what we have to do. But it was fine. It was a long day, but it was a decent day. I should have like $8 million in tips now because we had like 8 or 9 big holiday parties this week. So,
You don't?
well, it comes on my check. So I
Oh,
get cash, but we don't get a lot of cash, just like in general.
okay, that makes
Um,
sense.
So it all of our credit card tips goes on our paycheck the next week. Yeah.
Got it.
So yeah.
I've never worked a job that had tips.
I worked a lot of jobs that have tips because I used to work in coffee shops all the time.
I mean, when I
And
worked at Dairy Queen, occasionally people would tip me, but
yeah.
but no, I never.
Well, that's how people who work at bars survive.
Well, I know.
Tips.
I get that. I mean, it shouldn't be, but that's a whole other
Yeah.
conversation.
But also even so, I still make more there than I make in my office job, working the same amount of hours. I make like $400 or $500 more a week at the bar than I do at my office job, and I get more taxes taken out of the bar than I do my office job.
Yeah.
So, good times. Welcome to New York. This is what happens when you live here. You got to really love the city to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So rest in peace to my sanity. And that's the title of this episode that we watched this week.
Yes.
That is my transition for the week.
Beautiful. Sorry, I was just doing quick math.
You are. Yes.
I make exactly 10 cents less an hour in my part-time job than I do at my school. But like 10 cents less an hour than teaching.
I make like, if I were to go full time at the bar, I would make twice as much as I do at my office job. So right now I'm just working full time twice, which is fine, I guess.
It's fine.
Yeah. So rest in peace.
Yeah, no, if I were to go full time at my part-time job, I would have to have a different job because my position only exists part-time.
Right.
So I wouldn't want to do that.
Right. No, I feel that.
But yeah, so rest in peace. to both of us and to George.
Yes. God bless her. So the rating of this episode was 8.4 out of 10, which I think is the highest.
I think so.
Which, like, I think it's the highest because it's the season finale. Because, like, it was fine. It was good. But
Yeah.
the highest, I don't know about that. It was released on September 26, 2003. I know last episode we talked about them being released a month apart. It was another error we found on IMDb, because that's what oh my God, how old am I? This podcast is about correcting IMDb.
Yes.
So September 26, 2003, the number one song is still Shake Your Tail Feather, because it was a real banger in its time. The number one movie was The Rundown, which I have not seen, and I thoroughly meant to look up. It has Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in it. I told myself when I looked up what the movie was, that when I looked up what movie it was, that I was also going to look up what the movie was about, and I did not. It has Dwayne Johnson in it. There are other people, I'm sure. It's an action comedy.
All I could think of
Rosario
was
Dawson. I love her.
I hate her.
What?
I do not care for her as a human.
I don't know much about her as a human, but she is one of my favorite actresses.
I'm so sorry. I don't think she's that good either.
I love her. We might have to break up. I love her dearly. It's fine. We won't break up. Don't worry.
Okay.
But
all I could think of when you said The Rundown, though, was that Snapchat story by E, when it was like, you know how like they have like Snapchat news things for a while?
yes,
And, like,
I never watched them.
Oh yeah, no, E News it was called The Rundown, and the girl who ran it, her name was Erin, and I followed them just because she made me laugh.
See, I did not watch. I'm really bad at watching videos of things
Yeah,
that are not podcast related.
Yeah, I know. My TikTok DMs tell me that.
But I haven't watched the 400 videos that you sent me in months. Look, when I go home for the holidays and I'm just like chilling, Caitlin and Jamie go to bed so early, and so I'll just be laying in my bed and I'll watch some TikToks. And
Okay.
I'll catch up. Don't worry.
Perfect.
Yeah, and so the director of this episode is Helen Shaver, who I think is our first woman director for the series. We had a writer, but I think
we had one
first director.
I was gonna say we had one woman, but if she was a writer, this was our first director. Yes.
So this woman is like kind of killer. She like also directed the Poltergeist TV show, which I never watched because I thought I would be scared of it. So I didn't watch it. But she also directed The Craft, which is like cult classic film.
Yeah.
And she's also an actress. She's like a double threat. I don't think people say that, but I'm saying that now.
Okay.
And she was in The L Word is the thing that I recognize that she's in.
What was her last name?
Shaver. And so I recognize her face, but I haven't really seen anything she's in. But I have seen The Craft. It's good. Do you know her? You see her face? Do you know her?
I recognize her face. I'm looking at her list to try to figure out what it is that I know.
She also acted in the Poltergeist TV show.
She was also Littlefoot's mom in Land Before Time, but that has nothing to do with her face. Yeah.
It doesn't have anything to do with her face, but I love it.
Yeah.
I love The Land Before Time. It was like my fave movies back in the day.
That's why what I recognize her face from is an episode of Columbo.
That makes sense. That's very you.
Yeah.
So our writers this episode were excerpt Brian Fuller, and then John Massius and Stephen Godshaw, who we've had before. I don't think we've had John Massius though. I don't recognize his name.
Doesn't sound familiar, no.
So I looked him up, and he is he fits in with all the other writers. They've all clearly written together for a while because his top shows were Saint Elsewhere. He did Dead Like Me and the Dead Like Me movie,
Okay.
Touched by an Angel, and the Ferris Bueller TV show. So like
Yeah.
he's obviously pals with the other writers.
Right.
They all wrote on those things. So then we get into this episode and she's talking about George is talking about good things happening. And she's like, I just feel it. Something good's gonna happen. A 20 gets stuck on the spoke of her wheel. Is that they're called spokes?
Yes.
Excellent. I apologize ahead of time. My brain is not working because I am sick and have been sick for 4 days. It's not COVID. I'm fine.
My brain
I'm
is
just
also not working,
not doing
and I
well.
just looked at my notes and realized that I think I have 15 notes for the whole episode. So we'll see how this goes.
All right. Well, if it's anything like Sundays, we can talk a lot. So it's cool. I put very shorthand notes, so I'm hoping I remember what they all mean.
Good.
Anyway, so she's expecting good things to happen and she's like in this great mood. And then we get to the diner and Roxy, I don't remember what she was talking about now. But
My note says, "What is up Roxy's ass this morning?"
she went off on George when George was trying to say something. And she said, "You're not something." She said, "You're just dead and stupid." I was like, what the heck, Roxy? It's like, calm down. But also, like, in this scene, it felt a little out of character. Like, I don't know what it was. I don't know why. Like,
First of all, this is the first time we see Roxy at the diner with them out of uniform.
yeah. So Roxy's out of uniform and she's being like over the top, like, I don't know, antsy,
Yeah.
I guess. And like, Daisy has not taken over the conversation. George is like almost bubbly. And like, I get that it's supposed to be like a good day for her, but like, even on a good day, like that felt like out of character for George.
Yeah.
So it started a little strange for me. And I was like, I don't really know what's going on.
Yeah, and it was like weird because in her like breakfast order, she orders bacon and Roxy's like, "You don't eat bacon." She's like, "I know, but Rube does." And like, that's how he likes his bacon.
Right.
And Rube's like, "Oh, thank you." And like, it was a cute moment. But then like Mason was trying to get food and Daisy was like, "No, I said I was buying George breakfast, not you." And then they yelled at her for quitting her job at Happy Time. And then, but like, they were like, "We're going to be nice to you. Breakfast is on us." But also like, "You're an idiot and you're dead and you're stupid." And like, it was
Right.
just weird. I felt a little bit of Bittenbinder energy, like throw him off his game.
Yes. It was very strange. And they kept talking about how it was her day. And I was like, why is it her day? What is happening? And it took me a very long time to figure out what was going on, frankly, for what her day was.
The problem was, I don't think she made any awareness of what her day was.
She
like
didn't.
We had the episode where we talked about Roxy's death anniversary, and Roxy was very aware that it was her death anniversary.
I don't think this is her death anniversary. I think this is just her funeral dedication. Like, when I looked it up.
If you look up the actual description of the episode, it says on the 1-year anniversary of her death.
Oh, I looked up one of the other ones I looked up said it was just a dedication of her tombstone.
Yeah. But the thing is, she died in the fall of the previous year, and they already had summer vacation.
That's true.
So it is possible. From everything that I read, it was supposed to be her 1-year anniversary of being dead.
Okay, that makes the most sense. That's why I was so confused when I was looking it up. And
but
it was like,
she
her
doesn't.
funeral dedication. I was like, why?
Make any kind of
no mention of it. She just like doesn't acknowledge it. Like, yeah,
but
no.
She's
that's
also like, I don't know why today is so special. Like, I just feel like it's a good day. Like, you don't remember dying,
right? It was like, that's why I was like, this wasn't a terrible episode, but like, it's not the highest rated. It's not the most clear. It's not the most well written. It's just kind of a mess, frankly. But
and even the things that I liked about it were not like things that made it great compared to other episodes.
Right. And it was like, this is not what I would have chosen for a season finale. This is like episode 7 or episode 8 where people have fallen off and they need to come back. Like they need to, there's when the lull hits. This is the lull that's hit. Except
Right.
it's the finale. And not that you should have one, but it just happens. It always happens. There is one usually.
No, it does. That's
and so
that's how good storytelling is. Like there can't be highs all of the time.
exactly. And so this is it. This is the one. So then we go over to Roxy, Mason, and Daisy, who are wandering around and playing, I guess, Reaper, not Reaper. I don't know what you call it. They're just like walking past people in that Reaper. And I was like, what has happened? I was like, is that person a Reaper? Or are they just saying like when they die, they're going to be a Reaper? I think that's what was happening. When they die, they were deciding if they were going to become a Reaper or not. But I was like, what is happening? This is the weirdest game I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And it was very strange.
It was.
So now I want to play that game with people. But
Reaper, not Reaper.
Yeah, people probably think I was crazy, but it sounds like a fun game. And then Rube goes to a hot yoga studio for his next sticky note. And when he gave out sticky notes, George did not get one again. This is the 4th episode that George has not had to take a soul.
Granted, last time it was because nobody did.
Okay, well, yeah, that's fair. But like in the writing, you should have written in at some point in the past 4 episodes that she had to take a soul. Like that's part of it.
Again, the show doesn't show us every day.
Yeah, but like still, I feel like that's a big part of the show though, is like George taking souls. Like that's part of her like
yeah, but they gave Roxy the day off on her anniversary too.
And that's fine, but that means you should have written a different episode before. That's what I'm saying. Where they didn't give her souls to take, I'm fine in the storyline that happened. I don't like that it happened 4 episodes in a row. Yes.
Fair.
That is my problem. So we're at hot yoga and he's like meeting the teacher who happens to be the guy who needs to take a soul from.
Yes. If you do not recognize the yoga teacher.
I did not. I'm so sorry.
He plays Michael in Lost.
Okay, so I watched like the first season of Lost.
Well, then you know
about
Michael.
10 years ago.
Michael is the dad of the little boy with the dog.
Okay, so I watched it 10 years ago and I don't even remember what happened. So I also don't know how it ends, so don't spoil it because I know it's insane. So I'm going to watch it one day.
Michael Dawson on Lost was the actor. And literally as soon as, because I'm crazy and because I love Lost, when he walked into the yoga studio, I go, Michael.
Yes, I did not know who he was. I also want to make it very clear that people do normally wear more clothes than that at yoga studios. I've gone to a lot of yoga classes.
Yes, and no, it depends. Usually.
Well, these people were like in their underwear. It's like maybe you wear like a crop top, like sports bra with like yoga pants, but it's like.
Well, but they were the women were wearing like sports bras with just like bike shorts.
Some of them.
Oh, all the girls that I saw were wearing.
Oh, yeah.
But no, the men were wearing those tiny little shorts. But also, that is very Asian for men to wear tiny little shorts. And hot yoga is also like really dangerous to be doing.
It is. Yeah.
Well, to be doing at all, but to be doing in too much clothes. So like that was more of a like, it's 150 degrees. Please take your clothes off.
But also like the way Rube was dressed for yoga is more of how I've seen people dress for yoga.
Fair.
So
I have dressed like Sandy. That was the blonde girl who he kept touching.
Gotcha. No, I did not. I dressed in a t-shirt and yoga pants usually when I went, or like a tank top and yoga pants. I love yoga. I haven't done it in so long. So then George is going back to Happy Time to get her job back. And Wow. Dolores is just standing her ground. She
This
is
was being a bitch.
not letting her have any slack because she is still mad at her for leaving.
She's like
And
giving her all these baseball analogies
I
about
know.
Lou Gehrig.
And Wally Pip. And I was like, how do you know? You know everything about everything. Like the most random stuff that doesn't make sense for her to know.
Well,
Maybe it was
because
during her cocaine times.
maybe, but also like when you refuse to be idle, you can get a lot done.
I guess that's very true. I guess that's very true. Um,
I mean, I would never choose that lifestyle, but like,
no, absolutely not. I spent half the day today napping. I like
so did I.
it's the best way to do it. And when we get done recording, I'm just laying back on the couch. I'm going
too.
directly horizontal when we get done recording.
Yeah.
So I'm probably ordering takeout again because I ordered takeout earlier, but it's Sunday. So real quick look into my life. I order takeout twice on Sundays because the rest of the time I am not home. And so I don't have food in my house except snacks.
There is food in my house, but I feel like garbage, and I hope my mom doesn't ask me to cook with her.
Yeah. I bet she will not.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Dolores tells her, I don't need a Wally Pip. And I was like, that's really mean, Dolores. Like, George is clearly a better worker than that. You're just mad. Like, get over yourself.
Yeah,
And
George's
she's
replacement
like,
is picking his nose in the
I was just about to say that. Like, what the heck? Like, obviously, he is not a better replacement for George. Like,
Right.
come on. And so George is like, fine. And she goes to walk over the elevator and starts talking with this delivery guy who is like just absurd. He's annoying. And next thing, Dolores is hysterically running towards the elevator and just like pounding on the down button. And then he's being rude to Dolores. He's like, that's not going to make it go faster. Turns out her cat has gone into shock. And we all know from the previous episodes how strongly she feels about her cat. So this guy will not stop going on about stuff and being like rude and weird to George. And Dolores just pulls out a taser and straight up tases him.
Well, because George is like, Dolores, you clearly are not okay. Like, let me drive you. Like, let me help you take care of Murray. Like, I'm here for you. I'm your friend. And then the
Right.
guy's being rude. And so George snaps at him and he snaps back. And then Dolores is like, just shut the fuck up. But then she looks at his tased body laying on the ground and just goes, maybe you should drive.
Yep. She knew where she had pushed her limit a little bit far. She was a little bit past where she should be.
Yep.
Good choice, Dolores. And so now we're back at yoga, and Mandy Patinkin has to do yoga in his like real life. Like he looks like he's like comfortable with his yoga stances. I think he does. Yoga's very good for the body.
Yes, it is. But I mean, he's also a theater performer. He knows how to move.
That's true. That's true. Because he was just like really good at it, and I was like, made me miss yoga even more. And it says memoir. Couldn't read my notes for a second. And so now we go to but so sad about this memorial or whatever, because I didn't know what we were doing. The 1-year anniversary of the death.
Yes.
And they're talking about it, and it's Reggie's like, what happens? She's like, tell me what happens or whatever. And so Clancy's like, we'll have somebody like say some words and all this stuff. And Joy's like, and I'm gonna say something. And Clancy's like, what? And Joy's like, yeah. And she was like, and you could say something too. And Reggie's like, okay. And then he asks her what she's gonna say, and his phone rings. And she threatens to shove it up his butt if he answers it. And
so for once, he doesn't. Yeah. But no, I hate him. I hate him.
Me too. And she's just like, I'm gonna say, and then she just stops. She's like, I can't deal with you today, and just walks off. And I was like, I just want to give Joy a hug. Like, I want to give her a hug and like a nap. Like, I feel like that's what she needs. Because
that whole conversation started with him being mad that she didn't invite his mother to the dedication. And she's like, his mother, right. She's like, I hate her and she hates me. So no, I didn't invite her.
Right. And like she has no one except Reggie because he's not nice to her either. But she's not going to just bring more crap on herself. Like, that's insane. So,
But also, like, I
I
know
wouldn't
Joy's
either.
organizing it, but you're a grown adult man. If you wanted your mom there, you could have invited her.
Exactly. You could have been more involved and you weren't. So, now we show up at the vet, and I just said, like, this receptionist hairstyle is the most 2000s look I have ever seen. I had my hair like that. I remember the flipping out of my hair, my highlighted hair in that period of time. And I was just like, this, if nothing else gave it away, this scene gave away that this show was set in 2003.
Right.
So,
George's
I had some
outfit in this episode was so 2003.
right? I know. I was like, this is
The
the epitome of
low-rise
everything.
cargo pants with the tiny t-shirt.
Yes, yes. Yeah, we summed up the 2000s. And then they're in the waiting area, and there's this small dirty child, and George is like, don't let him touch Murray. And she's like, what? She's like, just don't let him.
Well,
And she's
no,
like staring at him.
Before she says that, it's because she sees a post-it note in his comic book,
Mm-hmm.
and she realizes that he is a reaper. But he is an animal reaper,
Mm-hmm.
which I never even thought of that.
Me either.
But I guess that means that in this canon, animals for sure have souls.
I think so. I think so.
I mean, not that I really was thinking that they didn't, but there's always debate on whether animals have souls the way humans do. But like in Dead Like Me canon, they do.
Right. Yeah. Which we get into a little bit later on too. Because that also happens after the next few scenes.
Oh yeah, no, well it
Yeah.
continues, but he
Right.
is obviously there as a reaper, and so
Right.
and that they're in a vet's office, and so
Mhm.
George just automatically knows it must be for the animals, not for the people.
Yes. Right. And but then we head back to a people death at the yoga studio, and Arun is trying to flirt with, what did you say her name was? I forgot already. Sandy. And she asks him to show her some pose, and so he goes to do it, and it's like the one where you lay on your back and your feet touch the floor behind you.
It's called the plow.
And the plow. And I'm not great at, my body just rolls a lot when I do that. It's not great. But
I just don't do it because I have like neck and spine issues, and
yeah, I mean, it also isn't great for that, but I just have such short legs that I just like roll when I do it. It's not good. It's not good. So he does it, and then this graveling comes from the ceiling and just lands on him and cracks his neck and kills him. And it's like immediate. Sandy does not realize he's dead at this point. She just like keeps on, and then she like walks away. She's like, "Hey, thanks." And I was like, that is one hell of a way to die. Like, how sad is that? Just like, that's, I don't know. It seems so preventable. And he already had we learned he already had back and neck issues, and he's not.
Well, yeah, I was
going
gonna say it was preventable because in his conversation with Rube, once his soul is talking to Rube, he's like, "I'm not supposed to do that pose. I took it out of all my stuff because I have an old back injury that I shouldn't be doing that."
So
but she's so hot.
Yeah. And it was so funny when Rube was like trying to tell him like what was going on. He just looks at him and he's like, "You're dead. Where are my pants?" And I was like, that is so fast. You didn't give him any information, Rube. You were just like, well, and I get I'd want to find my pants too if they were not where they were supposed to be when I'm trying to leave a place. But still, it was just so funny. He was just like, "You're dead. Where are my pants?" And he's like going on. He's just like, "No, they're supposed to be here." And I was like, okay, I think that he's probably your priority right now, but okay.
But like, Rube's not the kind of person who can handle his priorities well if he has no pants on.
Yes, that is Very true. Very true.
It's mostly like,
Um,
give me my pants and I will help you.
Otherwise, we're gonna keep doing this until I find them. Yeah. So then we go to the record store. And there's this the woman who works there stops this kid who's trying to steal a record or steal a CD. And she pulls it out. She says, Hootie and the Blowfish. And she just gives it back to him. She's just like, take it and go. Like, get out of here.
She's so disappointed in him for stealing that
know.
she's like, just keep it.
And it's so funny because, like, so that was 2003. Who would have thought where Darius Rucker would be now? Like, we have Chicken
I-
Fried now. We did in
I
2003.
love Darius Rucker.
I also like Darius Rucker, and we play Chicken Fried all the time at the bar.
Is Chicken Fried,
And,
isn't that Zach Brown band?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Which one's the Darius Rucker one then that came out?
Recently?
Like,
I mean, I don't know. History in the Making is my favorite Darius Rucker. I also
no,
like.
he has a country album that came out.
No, I know. History in the Making and Almost are both on his country album.
Maybe it's
Wagon
almost.
Wagon Wheel is the one that's
No, is it?
Wagon Wheel is the one that's the most played of his country songs.
That's the one. That's the one I was thinking of. Yeah, it was a remake from
Yes.
Old Crow Medicine Band. Yeah, we
Yes.
also play that one too.
Yes. No,
I
but
got them
Chicken Fried
backwards.
is Zach Brown band.
You are correct. You are correct. But
I
still,
love country music.
I also love country music. I'm just tired. So, but yes, so that was really funny. And I was just trying to picture how 2003 people would be with how things are now. And then we go
I mean,
toward Daisy.
Hootie and the Blowfish was still good and big in 2003, just not
I
for the
know.
vibe that she was going
Right.
for.
Right. Yeah.
Because Only
That
Want to
may
Be
have
With You is
been-
like,
That's what I was gonna say. Like, that was around the time that, like,
when did that
Uh,
Only Want to Be With You come out?
let's see, only wanna be with you. Oop, I can't type words.
Oh, 94.
94.
Yeah, I forgot that Hootie and the Blowfish was that old.
That is longer than I thought it was. Interesting. Which was
Hootie and the-
also a remake.
Hootie and the Blowfish were active from 1986 to 2008 and then got back together in 2018.
They're back together now?
Yeah.
Wow, I
They
am
did a
under
reunion
rock.
tour in 2019.
Huh. Some new knowledge for you people who also lived under a rock like me. Good to know. So Daisy is now trying to wingman Mason because he's asked her to find him a girl to sleep with.
Well, because
She-
we discovered that he has not done the deed in 15 months and he's starting to go
Mhm.
slowly insane.
Yes, and Daisy's way too excited about this opportunity to find him a girl.
But also,
She's having
okay,
a great time.
she is, but this is my problem. I don't buy Mason being that unattractive to women.
Right. I also don't.
Like, I get that he has a little bit of a creeper vibe, but like the women who smack him as soon as he begins to speak to them, like, Callum Blue is too attractive for me to buy people being that disgusted with Mason.
And also, like, this is not me because I know a lot of people with accents now. But if you're in the States, people with an accent can pretty much go out with whoever they want.
Right.
Like, across the board, it is not hard to find someone. Like, because
Yeah.
people think you're like, I mean, you know, maybe not in New York because there are a lot of people in New York that are like, it's very diverse. So you're not going to be the only one. But like,
But I
maybe
mean-
Seattle.
Right.
Like, I haven't been to Seattle, so I don't know. But I bet there's less people who are English there than there are here.
Yes, there would have to be. 'Cause-
Yes.
Yeah, no, but so this whole montage of him not being able to get a girl was baffling to me. I was like, this doesn't make sense.
Yes. It was very unrealistic. But his pickup lines were killing me.
Oh my god.
They were so bad.
dying. What was the one that he said that I actually genuinely laughed out loud? I don't remember which one it was, but
I don't know. They were all like the stereotypical pickup lines you
Like,
hear,
yeah.
cheesy pickup lines, and they
Yeah.
were cracking me up. And so after, you know, he gets slapped like 50 times or whatever, he goes back to Daisy and she slaps him. She's like, it just looked like fun. And I was like, yeah. And then she's like, okay, gotta go. And he's like, wait, what? And she was like, just try being yourself. And then I was like, you're telling me be yourself. Does that mean you're kind of starting to get into him now? Because like you like him as a person, so you think he's gonna do better?
No, but I think she was like, I can't give you the advice to get like that would work on me because getting a girl like me wouldn't happen in a place like this.
Right, right. Yeah. And,
But also the girl who worked at the record store, as soon as I saw her attacking the kid with the Hootie and the Blowfish CD, I was like, that's who Mason.
yeah. It was very obvious. Yeah. Sorry, I'm fine. So then we have a quick flash of poor Reggie.
Which
just
again, do you know who she is?
no, I am so sorry. I didn't look any of these people up.
It's okay. No, it's just because there were people that I recognized right away and I just couldn't remember her name. Her name is Jewel State.
Okay.
She was in Firefly and Serenity.
Also have not watched those. Okay.
But then she was in like The Blind Spot and Family Law and
what is her name?
Jewel State.
That sounds familiar, but I don't think it actually is. Jewel State.
Staite.
Yes, yes. She does kind of look familiar, but I don't know any.
So
hey,
Firefly
Stargate.
Yeah, Stargate Atlantis. She was one of the main characters in Stargate Atlantis, but she was part of the Firefly.
Oh, she's in Mothman. I've seen Mothman.
She played Dr. Jennifer Keller on Stargate Atlantis. I adore her.
Yeah,
so again, I saw her. I
would
saw
have
her
been
and I go,
Mothman. I saw her.
oh, I love it. All these. It was like all the guest stars that I didn't have to Google.
Yes, yes. I do like when that happens. I just was dying and didn't do it. I'm so sorry for my lack of effort today. I'm doing my best.
I mean, I didn't look them up really either. I just knew them.
Yeah. So now we're back at the vet appointment and she's inside the room with the doctor. And Dolores is clearly distraught. And this doctor just starts like making jokes about like dying. And he's like, how's the cat? Ha ha ha. She's like, and George
he was
snaps
like,
him.
He was like, have you had any unnatural urination? And she was like, yeah. And he goes, okay, so how about the cat?
Yeah. And George snapped at him, which was good. I would have to, because you don't do that. That's so unprofessional.
Because as annoying as Dolores is, George is a good friend.
Exactly. Yeah. Even if I thought she wasn't going to be in the beginning, she is now. Yeah. So at this point, I really thought the cat was going to die.
Me too.
I was convinced. I wrote down, I put poor Kitty is going to die. I just really thought it was going to happen. And then we go back to the yoga studio and Arun and Rube are watching the medics take his body away. And the girl, Sandy, is like talking, like watching him and talking about him. And she says, he's so pure. I really wanted him inside of me. And Arun's like, no, I can't do this anymore. I was just like, Jesus. It's like, you don't say things like that at a death scene. Like, what is wrong with this girl?
I say things like that in many places that I shouldn't.
But would you say it where someone died?
Not right where they died.
Right. So I just didn't care for that. It's like,
there are definitely people who have died that I've been upset that they died because then I couldn't bone them.
okay, but that's different. I feel like that's different than this situation.
Probably.
Like, God bless. So now we're back at the record store and I called her the rocker chick.
Yeah.
She's
credited as goth girl. So
excellent. Goth girl.
Yeah.
Has gotten a hold of the sticky note that Mason has. And she says, ETD, what does this mean? And he just tells her, he's like, estimated time of death. And she's like, what are you? Some kind of reaper? And he's just like, yeah. I was like, what is happening? I'm pretty sure you're
He
not supposed to tell
definitely
people.
only said yes because he could tell she was flirting with him.
Well, absolutely. But I don't think you're supposed to tell people things like this. Like, I don't know the rules, but I bet that's one of them.
Probably, but like also, did she believe him or did she just think he was saying that to bone her?
But like, I don't know. Like, if someone was just saying that, I think I would think they were a crazy person. Like,
Yes, but you're not all the same kind of girl who would let someone steal Hootie the Blowfish CD just because you think it's garbage music.
that's also true. That is also fair.
I probably would have been like, done. Actually, no, I probably would have done exactly what she did because I made a note about it.
That feels correct. That feels correct. But so Mason finally broke his dry spell. And he was very pleased with himself about it. And then we go back to yoga again. And Rube's talking to Arun about getting close to people. And he's like, why didn't you go talk to that girl? She really liked you. And Rube's like, I don't get close to the living. And he's like, well, why not? You should do. He's like, that's not, like basically you need to, these are the things worth living for or whatever type speech. He didn't say it quite like that. And Rube's just like, nope. Mm-mm. And I was just like, why won't Rube get close to anyone? I know he must have been hurt before, but
No, but here's the thing. Rube said more than he said without really saying it.
yeah.
And it was one of those moments where like, so Arun is talking about how many different women he's been able to love and all of these things because of yoga and like sensuality and everything. And Rube's reaction is not really one of being against. He was like, if that's what was good for you. And like,
Right.
He's basically like, we know that Rube's a really old-fashioned guy and he talks about it stuff all the time. And the way he reacts to that, it's very clearly the like, I'm a one woman kind of guy. And Rube loved somebody. And Rube's never gonna love.
We don't know why yet.
And Rube's never gonna not love somebody.
I know. But he's just so closed off, and how sad is that he's all by himself? That he won't let anybody get close to him.
I mean, you think about it, like what kind of like you've met like people whose grandparents, like one of them died and then the other one is just like never gonna be.
Well, yeah,
like
but they
that
like
again.
still let their family members in and be close to them. And I feel like he just doesn't let anyone in now.
But he doesn't.
I mean,
have
except
a family.
Roxy.
He doesn't have.
He does have a family. Roxy and Mason and Daisy
Kind
and
of.
George.
He's letting them in little bits at a time, and like Roxy's been there the longest of them, so like that's why, which is weird because Mason's obviously older than her, but like
Right.
But we also know that he does care a lot about Mason, just in a different way because Mason's not
Right.
capable of having an adult relationship.
True. I just want him to be happy because I know that he's gonna.
Sorry, my
devastation.
mom didn't want to interrupt the podcast, but she just had to write me a note that the Bills game is going into overtime right now.
Oh, nice. I thought they were going to the game.
No, the game's in Tampa. They just were both not home today.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. Yes, interesting. I hope that they win, and I hope that Godwin scored a lot of points, but that the Bills still win.
Yeah. I just hope that we beat Tom Brady. That's all. Because
Yes,
we did not beat the Patriots, but if we could just yeah.
Yeah. So now we are back at the vet, and I said the dirty kid is still there. Yes.
So, well, no, finish what you were going to say, and then I will, because mine is a thought that you have to finish first.
Okay. And so the dirty kid is still there. I think this is when she actually sees the post-it note officially. She thought he was a Reaper before,
No,
or maybe she saw it
She saw
again.
it the first time, but then this time he has it. We see it more clearly. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So I missed it the first time, but she saw it both times. And so she's telling her again, like, don't let him touch Murray. Don't do it. And the kid, this guy gets his bunny back now. Like, we don't know what's happening. Everything's fine. Like, he seems great. And he's like, wonderful. And the kid walks over there and I was like, no, the poor bunny's gonna die. And he's like,
So when we first met this little kid, who we find out later, his name is Charlie. When we first met Charlie, I was like, that is so sad that this kid is a Reaper and that he's a kid and he's stuck like this.
yes.
And in this moment when he pet Eddie, I realized kids have to be the Reapers for animals because people trust kids with animals more.
Yeah, but it's so
Like
sad.
if a little kid asks to pet your bunny rabbit, you're much more likely to be like, yeah, okay. Than if if Mason walked up and was like, let me touch your rabbit.
Okay, but
Well, yeah, but that was a bad example. But no, but like I had the realization
yes, I see
that
what you're saying.
I had the realization that like kids are the best Reapers for animals, and it's horribly terrifying and sad that kids die. But like, we did know that.
Well, I decided this has to be like hell. Like, this is not, it's not fire and brimstone. It is, you have to be the one to take the souls of animals. Like, that would be awful. And this kid, like, has been through so much. He was killed by a truck driver. Like, this kid has not had it easy. And now he's this dirty kid with no home and has to take animal souls. And I was like, what happened here? This is so sad.
I really wanted. So we're kind of skipping to the end of this scene because she chases after he takes Eddie's soul. George chases him out of
and she gets her job back from Dolores.
Yeah, but then she finds out like his name is Charlie and he doesn't have a home and how he was killed and everything. And I like really wanted her to offer for him to come stay with them.
Me too. That's what I thought was gonna happen.
I kind of get why she didn't, because like clearly he must have a rube in his life.
Yeah, somebody gave him a sticky note.
Yeah, so like there's got to be somebody looking out for him, even if it's not in the.
And they're different departments.
Yeah,
because he's in the pet department, she's in the people department.
She's in the external forces department.
Right.
But
yes. So then after we meet Charlie, we like see everything about Charlie. We go back to George's 1-year anniversary, and I was like, what is going on is this where Clancy got another phone call?
Yeah.
And I was like, what is happening? Why do you keep taking these phone calls at the worst times possible, or at all? Stop doing this. Stop having an affair. I was so mad at him. I was like, this is the worst time to do this.
Correct.
But I was happy because JD got to come.
Oh yeah, because Reggie had asked her mom if JD could come, and she was like, no, he's a dog. And Reggie just goes, fuck her, you're coming anyway.
Yeah. And sure enough, JD was there at the cemetery.
And then
Joy gives her speech. And she's like, I'm so sorry I wasn't a better mom. I wasn't more
She's
sweet.
like, she said, I'm sorry I didn't show you the affection that I always had for you, because I did love you and I miss you.
Oh my gosh. It was so sad. It was such a sweet moment. And then once Joy finishes, Reggie's just like, that was nice. And she's like, thanks. And then she's like, do you want to say something? She's like, yeah, but can you leave? I was like, oh, poor Joy. And Joy walks like 3 feet away. And Reggie's like, wait. I know. She's like, you can come back. And she's telling her, like, she puts down the picture of them together. And it's,
she's like, I miss you, maybe even more than mom does.
Yeah. I was like, that's so sad. And then all of the Reapers come to her grave. It's all, the whole family's there. And they
And they
bring up
celebrate her
Rube.
death day.
Yeah, Rube pulls out the champagne, and then Mason says at one point to George, "Dead like us," and I was like, "Ah, you had to get the title in there."
Yes.
And
But also, the thing, she tells them that she never had champagne before.
yeah,
And Rube asks her what it tastes like, and she goes, "It tastes like I kind of wish I'd never died."
oh, it was so heartbreaking. It was so sad. And we learned that the Gravelings live in the cemeteries, which I never thought about, but it makes sense.
I
And
know, but then Mason's toast and like them celebrating together, and George took the picture from the grave and just like,
yeah,
and she was so sweet because she's so innocent. She was like, "Is that a good headstone? Like, I don't know." And
I know. She's like,
Rube's
"Is it
like, "Yeah,
nice?
it is nice."
Top shelf or top drawer?" Oh, I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's so sweet." And then he just tells her, he's like, "You are loved," and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's so
Yeah.
sad."
He's like, he's basically like, "You're not alone. They loved you, and now we love you too."
I know. Oh gosh, it was like it was a really good ending. And she was talking about, she's like, she said there was some, what she says, I'm like, there was some stupid writer who said like there are no great second acts in life, and it was F. Scott Fitzgerald she was talking about.
But that's not what she said.
She said something, yeah, she said
Oh
something
no,
about like,
she said there was, yeah, some stupid writer said it. No, I'm sorry. I was thinking of another quote in one of the episodes that was from Henry Ward Beecher, but that was
yeah, that was a few episodes back.
that was last episode, yeah.
Yeah. So it was funny. I was like, yeah, and I don't remember if I talked about it on here, but I was listening to another podcast and they were talking about his wife. And she actually wrote essentially the same story as The Great Gatsby. And he just published it first, but they were both writing at the same time. And then he talked about how she stole from him, but really apparently she had been writing it first. And like it was both their story because they both based it off of their lifestyle. It was insane. Like it was rough. So that's cool. Good times.
I don't
But yeah,
I
so
don't like that. I don't like the Fitzgerald and the Gatsby and their story very much, but not because it's not good. Like, I think it's great. I love Great Gatsby. But
right.
I unfortunately know a few people who kind of base their personality off of that book's existence. And it makes me not like it. I'm
I
like,
get that.
mm.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Um, yeah, so as a finale, the end of this episode was really good for a like season finale episode. The rest of the episode could have had a little better writing done.
I think honestly, George's over monologue, her narration was season finale-ish. Her parents' story was, the end of the
Mhm.
episode was. I even think that Arun's story kind of was. I just wish we had gotten a little more from Rube.
I think
Mason's is the only one that really storyline that really just didn't belong.
right. I feel like because it was the season finale, we should have had something, some kind of big reveal should have happened. Not all of it, because we got to go into season 2, but there should have been a big reveal that we've been waiting on all season, and we didn't get anything.
I mean, I think, and we can talk about this a little bit more when we do our season wrap up, but I don't know that they knew they were getting a season 2.
So I also wondered that because of how they did that flashback episode 2 episodes back. If they knew at this point.
And I think it's part of it is that they didn't really know exactly when it was coming back, and I think that there were always issues backstage on the show, like in general. Which is one of the reasons Brian Fowler left when he did. Obviously, there was the whole ordeal with the way producers handled Rebecca Gayheart leaving. Which, again, this is all stuff we can go into more detail later, but I do believe the problem was they wanted
to wrap a bow of the things they already had without going deeper into anything else, just in case.
Right. I think
like
that's I think that makes sense.
They tied up Joy's grieving. They tied up Reggie or George accepting her death. They gave us emotional stuff with Rube and then with like Mason with George, but they didn't go deeper into Rube or Mason or Roxy's lives because like,
yeah, in case they didn't want to leave it on a cliffhanger.
Yeah,
that makes sense. It's just,
which like I totally get feeling unsatisfied with it, but like
I also get why they would do
had
that.
so much turmoil in general that like they kind of were like, let's just have a happy, like satisfying moment to end it. And if that is the end of the show, then it just is what it was.
Right. Yeah. Yep. I agree.
Who did you want to punch?
Dolores. She was so mean to George in the beginning. I get that George quit, but she did try to she didn't know what she was doing, and she did try to be nice to her about it. And I get that she made them look bad because she just quit 5 minutes after she started her new job that she found on like one of their websites or something. Yeah. But like her and George were friendly, and she just completely blew her off and didn't even have a conversation with her about it. And like, she didn't have to be that mean about it, even if she was not going to let her have her job back.
I would like to punch Roxy because they never give us an explanation for why she was being so rude at the beginning of the episode.
Yes, I think everyone was just out of character at the beginning of the episode. Yeah, that's weird. What I've chalked up to. Who was your MVP?
I don't know. I mean, Jewel, the goth girl, is me. But no, I think it will have to be Rube.
That's who I'm picking too. Because we saw how his emotions.
Joy.
Yeah, she would have been a close second for me.
Yeah.
But he's and then he took care of her so much on her on her death anniversary, which is now what I'm calling it. Yes. And brought her champagne, and he's just like, "You're loved," and I was just like, "Ugh."
Yeah. Joy.
That's exactly what George needed.
Yeah, but Joy admitting that she knew she wasn't the best mom, but she did love her was.
I know.
Yeah.
It was very sweet. It was nice. Yeah. So that is that's the end of season 1. We made it through season 1. Yeah. We'll have the season wrap up soon. And then when the new year starts, we'll break into season 2.
Have a Merry Christmas. And if we don't post anything next week, which
we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Have a happy new year. It's very possible with how our lives have gone the last 2 weeks that we will not post anything next week. But that doesn't mean we don't love you. It just means we're tired.
It just means we don't know what's happening in life right now.
Well, and also we want to spend holidays with our family. You want to spend holidays with your family. We're not trying to the holidays are on the weekend this year, which makes it difficult to try to worry about the podcast. So we just will try to actually be human beings and not robots.
Exactly. And hopefully by the next time you see us, we are well and more full of life.
Wouldn't that be nice?
That is the dream. That is the dream.
You can follow us on all of the social medias at Death and Aliens. You can follow me at EMKAY_superstar.
And you can follow me at CE Cloud 13.
And we We hope you have the merriest of Christmases. If you don't celebrate Christmas, I'm sorry. I did not wish anyone a happy Hanukkah, but it is over now, so I apologize. Kwanzaa. I don't know if there
Happy
is.
holidays.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think that there is a winter holiday in Islam, but like,
Whatever
happy
you
everything.
celebrate.
happy everything to everyone.
Yes. I hope you have a good day today and tomorrow, at least.
And we will see you when 2021 is over. Ooh.
Yep, that's happening soon.
Ooh. Remember when 2018 was last week?
I do. I do
Ooh.
indeed. Excellent.
Tough.
All right.
Bye.
See ya.